Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 13th of July 2017. How are you all doing? Bit of a strange one this morning. I got up, the energy seemed all clear and all nice, and there was a song playing in my head as I walked downstairs, and I sort of danced downstairs because the song that was playing was This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine. So it was all sort of like gospel, so all in a good mood. So I was expecting the cards today being really positive cards. And always expect the unexpected. So quite interesting though when I'm looking at these, because I do think that song is relevant, even though initially it won't actually seem it. So the card that I've picked for today, like I say, I'm using the Stretch Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. Is the Three of Swords. Now, the word that the artist has put with this is sorrow. And it does. This card talks about heartbreak. It talks about emotional pain. It talks about despair. Basically, it's a lot of times it signifies loss as well and grief. Okay, so it's not that pleasant a card initially when you get it off. So, it could mean that there is a relationship breaking up. It could mean that there's three people involved as well, because it can actually mean this as well. It could be that there is still old hurts that are haunting you from the past, okay? So what the first thing I got with this card when it came in is that heartbreak is temporary. Okay, it doesn't last forever. So if you are experiencing it at the moment, please know that, it's not forever. It will go. All pain goes eventually. But what often happens with this, when we've experienced emotional pain or something like that, we hang on to the pain. When we feel that we've been wronged, or we feel that we have lost something, we can hang on to the pain long after the emotional content is gone. The emotional part of it is gone. And what happens is we get used to having this pain. So this pain is a sort of macabre comfort, if that makes sense. And we can use our pain like a badge. We can use it as an excuse to other people. I can't do this, I can't go forward in life because, my heart has been broken. I can't go forward in life because I've experienced this loss. And, and we all do this scenario, so like I say, I'm guilty of it myself. This is what I'm saying. The thing is, we all do this, but we all experience heartbreak and we all experience pain as well. So if you're going through it, know that it isn't personal to you, that every person you encounter in the street, that person who's really nice to you behind the counter, when you're going to get served in a shop, that person that you walk past in the street who you think might look grumpy, or that person who is laughing and you think, look at them, how can they be so happy? They have experienced pain and emotional pain and loss at some time in their lives, because every single one of us will experience it at least once, and we always get over it. You cannot find anybody who has not experienced emotional pain, heartbreak or loss within their life. It's impossible. Even Buddhists, Buddhist monks I spoke to, they spoke of it, but it's how you actually deal with it. And a lot of times we're like, oh, this happened to me, it didn't, it happened for you, not to you. Okay, so it's what happens a lot of time when we lose somebody, or when a relationship breaks up or something like that. What we do is we then focus on the good times that we had. We focus on that and we make it out to be this perfect thing that we had, when really, if it's ended like this, then it wasn't that perfect, and we can try and kid ourselves about how great it was. Maybe the blood that comes from these swords actually tints our eyes to a rose-tinted glow. I don't know, But if we look back and we are truthful with ourselves and truthful looking at the situation, it probably wasn't all rosy, Because like I say, if it was, then it wouldn't have broke down, or it wasn't as strong as what you thought it was, you know. And I don't want anybody to feel within this that I'm being unsympathetic or unempathic. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not being like that at all. I have a lot of empathy for heartbreak. You know, I've experienced it. I've experienced heartbreak and loss on many different levels throughout my life, you know, down to losing people to death, to suicide, to losing a child, to heartbreak, to all of that, you know. So I've been there and I understand the pain of it. But I also, when looking back, I also can understand how those periods of devastation have actually led to my growth, okay, and led to my development as well. So, like I say, it's not that there's no sympathy or empathy there. There is, but there is an understanding as well of why this has to happen, you know. So, what this card is saying today is, whatever you're experiencing, okay, try and detach from the pain just for a moment. Okay, detach yourself from it. Take yourself away from it. Accept that it's there, but look at it differently. Look at why you are really hurting. What is it, you know? What is it about it? Are you feeling wronged? Are you feeling rejected? Are you feeling abandoned? Are you feeling scared that you'll never experience something like that again? You know, are you feeling alone? Because, you know, a lot of times these are sort of catalysts within the pain that we're feeling rather than the actual thing itself, you know. And what we need to do to release this pain is take that sword out. When we are focusing on the swords that are still there, there is no chance of healing, you know. So when we are focusing on the people or the people involved in this or the situations involved with this is continuing to give us pain, you know. So by accepting this pain, by experiencing it, by feeling it as well, because it is real, you know, I'm not saying it's not real at all, it is real, you know, and heartbreak hurts like hell, it really, really does. But what it does is it is promoting our inner growth, and once we take that sword out, this is when the healing process can actually begin. I mean, if we look at that heart, that has been pierced 3 times with a sword, but it is still beating. It is still going on. Our hearts are very, very resilient, you know. Our hearts are amazing things, you know. You see people that have gone through horrific times, you know, terrible. They've been in war-torn countries, you know, torture, all of this. And they can still, their heart still allows love in. You know, it's when we shut our heart off, this is when, you know, this is what we need to keep away from, because when we shut ourselves down, all we are doing is allowing that situation that caused us pain to continue to give us pain throughout the rest of our life, you know. So you are hanging on to that, even if that person or situation is no longer around, you are still clinging to that pain. So it's time to take that sword out and let it go, you know, because that heart is still beating, you know. Yes, it might be slightly damaged, but it is still beating. So this card is talking about like needing to cope with sorrow, you know, and this is what we all need to do. Like I say, every single one of us will lose somebody in some aspect throughout our life, but we have to cope with it because this is what we do. And when we have emotionally invested in something or in someone, and then it's no longer there, you know, of course we are going to feel pain. Of course we are going to feel that we need to grieve, because it's normal, you know. Grief is a part of life, you know, but grief gets it. Time is a great healer, and I know people go on and say that that's an old cliche, but it's not, you know. And when you wake up one morning and you think it doesn't hurt as much, you know, that's good, you know, and this is it, and it comes with time. So like I say, when we have been betrayed, or, you know, a relationship breaks down or something, we feel like we've been stabbed in the heart. We can physically feel it. But this card is saying, don't lose your perspective with this. Learn from this pain, you know, and then put what you have learned into new relationships that you will have, you know. Don't be a Mrs. Havisham. Don't shut yourself off from anything ever, you know, because that is you choosing pain. Pain, as I've said, is a part of life, but suffering is optional. You know, so today this is talking about going right to the core of the matter. What is it that causes you pain? Look at it sort of from a different viewpoint, you know. Look at it like that and see, is it really that situation that is causing you pain, or is it sort of the little feelers that have come off it, you know? So this is saying that it's time to focus on your recovery rather than focusing on the pain that you have or you have experienced, you know. I watched a great film with a little video clip with Tony Robbins the other day, and he said, discipline your disappointment. And he said every single person that he has encountered who was successful has actually either been screwed over, you know, has failed and has had devastation within their lives. But they get back up and they use that as fuel to drive them back on, you know. And it's like, if we get something and it's easy to get, then we don't value it. You know, this is why I don't give out free readings to people that message me, you know, because they're not valued, you know. I do these ones, but I don't do the other ones. And we need to value something. And sometimes by paying the price for that, that is when we value it, you know. And what happens is, like, often within relationships as well, we take them for granted, or we take the other person for granted. And it's only when we risk losing them or they go that we actually then realize the value of what we had, you know. But then it's too late. So there's so many people try and fix things when they've been broken for so long, and it's that last little, oh no, I don't want this to happen, we'll fix it. By then it's too broken, you know. So what this does is this makes you realize that next time you are in a relationship, that you don't let these cracks get that big. You know, the second there is something, you address it, because you don't want it to end up in the same way. So you learn from that. You learn from the experience how not to do something, you know. You learn with every loss. You learn then to appreciate the people in your life so much more. You know, I had this conversation with my friend yesterday who lost a friend. And I said, I know that you call me soppy all of the time for saying that I love you and that I value you in my life. But that is only because I've experienced that much loss. You know, and the people that I've lost, I cannot say it to now. So the people that are there, I make sure that they know that, you know. So this is saying it's release the pain, you know, and release the past. Like I said yesterday, this happiness is acceptance. And that also comes with this. And this is accepting that pain is a part of life, you know. But don't stay there. Don't sit in the pain, you know. Move away from it. Focus on becoming all that you can be rather than all that could have been as well. Because shoulda, woulda, coulda does not work. It doesn't work, you know. It keeps you in the pain and it stops you from moving on. And the thing is as well with pain, don't grow comfortable in it, you know, because a lot of people grow comfortable in their pain. It gives them an identity, you know. They get sympathy from other people and that's what they then crave. You know, don't be like that, you know. You're not a victim in this. You know, you're just a normal human being having a normal human experience, which is grief and loss in exactly the same way happiness is, you know. Because when you feel comfortable with this pain, what this is doing, this is cutting you off from other things. And this is causing you further pain and further loss, you know. So I like that card and I want to, it's quite strange. Last night I was going through my phone and I found some old things that I got, and there was I channeled from Spirit. I'd asked Spirit one day while I was experiencing heartbreak, you know, I was really down, I was really in pain, and I said to Spirit, why? You know, please, why? You know, this is what I asked, and this is exactly how it came out to me, so I do want to share this. What Spirit said was, when you open your heart to love, you are taking a risk. When it works, it's the most amazing feeling in the world. And when it doesn't, well, it's hell. After we experience heartbreak, and during actually, we all too often get annoyed at ourselves and the others involved. We question, how did we not see how it would pan out? We question every single moment that made our hearts burst. What we need to realize is that every single person we encounter on our journey holds some importance. Nobody meets by chance. Maybe they were brought in to break us open, to allow ourselves to fully heartbrokenly surrender to something the universe wanted to teach us. Maybe we are the other person's lesson. Maybe we were the ones to break them and their structures and clear a gateway for them to step out on their path, like a tour guide in some way. Whatever the reason, there is one. Instead of pointing the finger of blame, instead of thinking of coulds, shoulds and shouldn'ts, ask yourself, what gift have I received and what gift have I given? Again, there will be one. If you opened your heart fully and you were true to yourself throughout, then be proud. You were brave enough to offer the greatest and most precious gift a person can give, and that is their love. What another chooses to do with it is not our concern. Love is always the answer, the question is often irrelevant. And if you can love unconditionally, even though your heart may have been broken numerous times in the past, if you can still take that risk to keep your heart open and offer its contents to another, then you know that one day the pain you may be feeling at this moment will ease, and you will do exactly what you've done again. Love unconditionally, because that is who you are. Know deep within your being that one day someone will come along who values that and replicates it. The ones that hurt us are on their own journey and have their own lessons to learn, so don't take it personally. Take it as they chose to learn from you, so that is a compliment in some way. Continue to send love to them, as when someone hurts another, it is from some deep-rooted pain within themselves, so this is when they need it most. Keep your heart open, keep your head high, and keep looking forward. Pain is temporary, whereas love is eternal. Love is who you are, so don't change, just grow. And that was what I actually got given from Spirit, and it blew me away. It really, really did. So I hope that has helped somebody. I do intend to write that down at some point, because I do feel it's quite profound, you know. But that's it. Look at it. What gift are you getting with this? You know, through this experience, you are growing. And this will actually propel you forward, you know, and it will aid you in the future as well. So the Osho card that I picked today is awareness, you know. Quite interesting, this as well. Because if we have a look, we see this shadow behind, and this shadow looks like it's in torment and turmoil, you know. It's grasping to get out. It's in the dark. I always see this as a bit like Psycho, you know, the Psycho film, you know. And this is what I see. It's like you hear that, you know, and it's not really a nice card. Initially, if we took that bit away, it's like feeling very trapped, you know. There's a lot of greys and stuff like that. There's a lot of mental frustration within this, you know. But what has happened is this veil of Maya, this veil of illusion, is being ripped open. So this is where you're seeing things differently, and in ripping that open, this torment and turmoil is being released. And if we have a look, it looks like it's being burnt open, but it's not being burnt open by flames. It's cold, it's cool, it's calm, it's aware, you know. And inside is this little child, you know, and this little child is coming out all brand new again, because that is when you've healed, you know. By staying behind that veil, you are staying in this torment, you know, and this not a nice place. You are staying in this grey place. By breaking through this veil and seeing it, you know, and having the awareness of what it is, you know, then this is very, very significant into your healing from this pain, you know, which is it needs healing from. So it's when you see things as they are, when you know, when you don't look and have these woulda, shoulda, couldas, you know, when you see, right, okay, this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be, and this is, you know, I need to move on. You know, you don't forget it, but you move on from it, you know. What happens then? This allows you to free yourself from the ghosts of the past. You are no longer haunted. You are no more sort of like, you know, like in turmoil, in this horrible place, you know, thinking of all these what ifs and stuff like that, you know, because when you are haunted, when you have these mental hauntings in your mind, it's horrible, and we need to exercise them, you know. We need to get rid of them, you know. And this is saying, do you really want to return to this anguish, you know, that has plagued you for so long, from this pain? You know, because a lot of times when we, like I said, when we look at these relationships, they weren't as rosy as what we think, but they were comfortable, and we got comfortable, and we were in safe, you know. So this is what this card is saying, you know, it's this veil has been stopping you, this veil and this pain has been stopping you perceiving how things really were, you know, and it's starting to come away now. And it's saying, you know, this is like being childlike again, coming out new. Yes, a little bit vulnerable, you know. If we look at child skin, you know, it's sensitive, it's tender, but that's beautiful, you know. And like I say, this is growth within us. It's like shedding this skin, you know, shedding the old and making way for the new, you know. So this is saying that this will happen anyway. You know, it's going to happen, but you can speed up the process because this veil is dissolving. And like I say, time does this. So this is saying, you know, let yourself settle now. Let the pain ease as well. Just be witness to it. Look at it, you know, be silent and see it for what it is. It is a natural part of life, you know. It's not just you that is being targeted. Every single person on this planet, you know, will experience it at some point. You know, so this is saying, see it through new eyes and then you will be freed. We then have the Colette Baron Reid card. And this is a change in the wind. But this is in the protection position. And it's saying that what this is saying is that there is conditions in our life that we have no control over. And often with heartbreak, this is one of the things, you know. This is one of the things that we don't have control. We're losing control. Somebody who we have had that control over is now going away and they're breaking that control and we panic and it's like, but you can't do this, and we try all these different crazy things. We try all this manipulation and everything to get them back and it doesn't work because it's gone, you know, they're no longer ours, you know. And this is it. It's sort of accepting that. So this is saying, you know, you have no control over this situation. And it's saying, you know, don't fight these situations because you can't change them. Change is inevitable within life, you know, and it's always for the best and for your highest good whenever this change comes in, you know. So even if this storm, this wind has blown down all of your structures and blown down all of your security, you know, everything that you thought your dreams were built on. This is what Tony Robbins said, you know, about your dreams. It was, what was it? Allow them to disappear, you know, allow them to be like devastated because then you build again and you build on more solid foundations. So this is it, you know, this wind is blowing everything away, you know. But everything will turn out how it should be as well. With this renewed sense of clarity that you have and the strength that you will get through experiencing this pain, you know, you will be able to go on to bigger and better, you know. Nothing ever leaves you that is meant for you. You know, if something goes out of your life, it's because it's not for you or there's something better, you know. And when you have that mindset and when you know that, it makes it easier to settle into this pain and process it and then let it go. So like I say, you're not a victim here, you know, it's not personal to you. This is the way the world works, and the world and the universe want to lead us on to bigger and better things. And we've learned our lesson, you know, this is what happens. We often meet our soul groups, okay, like people we can think, oh God, I feel like I've known you years and all of this, and we have, you know, we have. This is why I don't talk about soulmates a lot, because we have thousands of soulmates. We probably have one soulmate in, at least one soulmate in every town, you know, but people say, oh, a soulmate, and they cling to this. But soulmates come together again within this lifetime to learn the lessons that they didn't in the last. And once they've learned that lesson, once their work is done, then it's time for them to part again. So when people come to me and say, oh, I've met my soulmate and it's going to be forever and it's like, it probably won't. It will be until you learn your lesson. And then you can both go off on your path and meet other soulmates who you will learn lessons from there as well. You know? So this is how life works. You know, and once you accept that, you know, like I say, yesterday the happiness was all about acceptance, and today it's the complete opposite. It's the pain. But we can't have that happiness that we had yesterday and that contentment without experiencing this first, you know. But like I say, your heart is still going unbeaten. And if we have a look at that there, they've just alerted me to that. It's sort of like a map. It's like a road map, you know, and this is directing you onto your path and in the direction that you should be going in. You know? So I'm going to pull one of my new cards and see what comes up with these. I hope that made sense. I hope please let me know if that resonated with any of you, because I'm not being flippant about pain here. I'm not, like I say, you know, I've experienced that, and being an empath as well, you experience it very, very deeply. You know, those of you that are will know. And it's sort of a bit like soul loss, you know, you feel like you lose a bit of yourself, but it always comes back, okay? So, right, card for today to go with these cards. It's really strange with these because I'm hoping, right, okay, it's quite interesting, this. Beautiful, beautiful card, look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is a 4, which is 4 is all about security and your own personal security as well. If you think of 4, a chair has 4 legs, unless it's a stool. You know, but it structures. It structures this. And what this is saying is perspective and points of view. And the song that comes with this, the quote that comes with this is quite interesting. And it's a quote from Father and Son by Cat Stevens. And it's, I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you've found something going on. But take your time, think a lot. Why think of everything you've got? For you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. There may be no right or wrong. The view is the same, but its perception is different. Fresh ideas and experience sharing the same eyes, but with a different vision. 2 manifestations of the same person share a commonality. One from the fresh, eager innocence of youth, the other from the calmer, sobering maturity of experience. Both grasp the same mask in unison. Their destinies entwined and ultimately inseparable. At some point, both will see the same vision. So this is it. When you set out and you're all young and you're all doe-eyed and you're all like starry and you're all suddenly falling in love and everything is great, you don't see what may happen. You don't want to look too far ahead because you're that caught up in the moment. But then, as we get older, this person has experienced pain and they've experienced, you know, heartbreak. So they know that it's not always rosy. It doesn't always work out like that. So it's when you can actually have this vision of the both of them, putting them together, so you can have this excitement. And you know, when you meet somebody new, you can have this excitement, you can feel this, all right, okay, this is great, but don't project onto it. Don't expect it to last forever. Expect it to last how it is, because you've had experience and you know that sometimes things always don't turn out to your plan, but they always turn out to Spirit's plan, you know. So this is sort of seeing, like, having this newness, but also using the wisdom of age and experience to come with it. And also as well is, I mean, if we have a look here, what I feel is quite interesting with this card when I'm looking, the shoots on this next to the young, all of these shoots are like new, they're fresh, they're blooming, it's like spring, it's something is budding. But then when we look next to this older person, it's autumn, they're autumnal colours, you know. So this is showing the cycle, you know, of life. It's sort of birth, it's growth, then it's sort of like, I don't know, things start to rot, don't they? I don't know the word, sorry, I can't think of the word. My brain's really bad for words at the moment. You know, like it disintegrates, that's not the word that I'm looking for. But then death, you know, this is a decay, that's it. You know, so this is the cycle, what happens within relationships and what happens within life as well. And when we accept that as a part of life, you know, and that everything has a shelf life and not everything is going to be there forever, not everything is evergreen, you know, that is when we can relax more into life and it makes our life less stressful and less painful. So I hope that made sense to some of you, you know. It's like I say, I know it doesn't seem like a good one, but I really feel it is. And that song as well, that, you know, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And this is it, shine through the darkness, you know. This is what you were born to do. This necklace, actually, this is what it says, that it allows the wearer to shine no matter what the circumstances. And it's aura verde. A lot of people ask about this necklace, but it's aura verde, and that's what it does. And it's very good for psychic protection and keeping negative energies away as well. But that's it. It's like, let that light shine no matter how much pain you are feeling, you know, because that pain will pass. Okay? So, right. Please let me know if this made sense. I only have one emergency appointment now available today. That is it until I come back on the 24th. But if you do want a reading when I do come back from my holidays, please book in, because there's going to be a little bit of a surge, I think. And like I say, I come back and I read for you. But the weeklies will be up before I go away, and I'm going to try and get the August monthlies done as well if I have time. So like I say, I might not. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day, and like I say, feel this pain, look at it, see what you need to change about the way you look at things as well, you know, and know that this too shall pass as well. Okay, Satnam.